Oh, I think we're live. Good stuff. All right. Good evening. Welcome along. It's another edition of the Sunday Bunch. Joining us tonight, we've got Terry, Gary, and Lee. Terry, how's your day been?
Aye, champion, been for a 5 mile walk up a couple of fells, so happy days.
Well, doesn't sound like happy days to me, but never mind. Gary, how's your day been?
Yeah, reasonable. It's raining. I watched Juventus draw earlier. I was hoping they'd lose because obviously they're playing black and white, and now Spurs are winning as well. So mixed weekend, I think.
Right, okay. And Lee, how is it in Spain? Is there rain in Spain?
There's rain in Spain, yeah. Está lloviendo, Philly. Está lloviendo. It's raining a lot. How are you, man?
All right, it's raining a lot here. Well, I'm saying I'm all right. My voice is virtually gone. I've just finished a gig, and apologies. I've not seen the game yesterday because we was doing some rugby stuff for Wolf, but I'm going to try my best to sort of take part. But I'm very much relying on the other lads and you lot in the chat. So anything you want to chuck our way, you're part of it. You can be, like I said, get yourself in the live chat. Already on there, Mickey Stewart, our very own Emma is there. Spence Backwards, Steve Thornton, Miles Percival, Pixel Rich, Alan Gardner. So be part of the show. Yesterday, a 1-1 draw. I mean, start me off, Terry. Apologies. I mean, I don't know what the team was or anything. What was it?
Yeah, we'll start with the team news. And it looks as if Diallo was put to the bench and we shoehorned Trey Hume as the right winger now. He seems to favour certain players and he seems to favour Trey Hume now. I don't know what the lads feel about this, but what was your thoughts on the team setup when you seen Trey Hume as the right winger and Rick dropped to the bench?
Gary?
I'm not convinced about him there. I'm not convinced about him at all. And I'm not quite sure what we gain from it. So it's a bit of a mystery to me when we keep doing it. And we've persevered with it, haven't we? It's not the first time we've done it. We've done it a few times. I think he first started at Liverpool. Look, he gets about the pitch. He's a combative player, got a decent right foot on him, but I'll never be convinced he's, any more than a right back or a right wing back at best. As it turned out, he ended up having to come back into a back four anyway, didn't he? So it's a moot point. I was glad to see Diarra arrested. I don't think it's good for him to keep getting put into the spotlight when he's been indifferent at best. And it meant Lafille went into the middle, so that was the best thing for me to see Lafille in the middle. I like Talbot to be given a chance, but again, whether he warrants it or not is another discussion.
Right, okay. Yeah. Before I come to you, Lee, just on the chat here, Pixel Rich says, evening, lads. Not a sending off for me. We'll get on to the sending off. And so far, it's Aston Villa 0, Spurs 2, which I'm sure the whole of the country will be fed up with that because I think everybody would like to see Spurs go down. Lee, the lineup yesterday, was your thoughts on it?
Well, I think we had to make changes, didn't we, after a 5-0 loss at home, although that was a bit of a freak result. I was surprised that he took Chris Rigor because he took him off to half-time last week against Nottingham Forest, and I thought, well, let him redeem himself and come back in because he hasn't really done much wrong since he's come back into the starting 11. He's been quite good. The Trey Hume, I agree with the lads. I don't really see the point of him playing right midfield. Talby, I was happy to see him get back in there. I'd like to see him get a run because he seems to have one good game, then gets dropped. Yesterday, I thought he was okay, but nothing special. I think when he gets the ball, he goes as if he's going to run at the defenders, but then he pulls back and then passes it back. And he's also a bit weak in the challenge as well sometimes. I think I'd like to see him a bit more stronger in the challenge, but I think give Talby a run on the left wing to the end of the season, last few games, and see how he goes because I don't think it's helping him getting in and out of the team all the time. I think he needs to run a games to build his confidence because there is a player there.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Alan Gardner says, seems to me Labrise uses any excuse to play Hume on the right. Rig has one average game and he's taken out. Your thoughts on that, Gary?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a game recently, it might have been Forest, it might have been before that, where he did drop Hume onto the bench. And maybe he thinks we've lost something when Hume hasn't been starting. It might be, was it Forest when we started with Mukiele on one side and Ronaldo on the other? I think it was. And then
I think it was Villa, wasn't it?
Was it Villa when Hume didn't start?
Because Hume started. Ronaldo was dropped to the bench for Forest game, wasn't he? Came on at half time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he seems to want to bring Hume in at any given opportunity. I don't want to jump ahead here, Phil, but there was a bit of analysis done on the Forest goals. In fact, it was done on the back of the Villa game and then the Forest goals. I can't remember who it was who did the analysis, but they were saying Hume in the penalty area, particularly when the ball's in the air, he doesn't really compete. He's not physical enough. And they pointed out a couple of things against Villa as an example, and then said the first goal conceded against Forest, ball at the far post. He kind of turns his back on the player. The ball hits the player, goes in. Ball hits the back of Hume and goes in. And you know, since then, I'm sort of looking at it and thinking they're right, because whatever his qualities are, and you could even put the goal from yesterday a little bit on him. Him and Xhaka seem to get in each other's way. I think that's a fair criticism to say, you know, in the penalty box, set pieces, he's not the strongest of players. But yeah, to go to the question, yeah, he seems to be a favourite of Labrie, and he brings him in at every given opportunity. I'm not sure he's in really good form at the moment.
Terry, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if ever there was a game yesterday to maybe try and go two up top, it might have been yesterday's game, because I think Wolves, even with 10 men, I thought Wolves didn't really offer a great deal apart from the odd opportunity. And to be honest, well, like Owen downfall for the majority of the game yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I can say it just shows our shortcomings on our right-hand side, don't we, really? If we've got a right-back playing a right winger, we do need to invest really heavily in a decent right winger. I mean, Traore is out injured and this other lad, TB, has just come back. But are they really, top quality wingers to try and get pushed towards that Europe position? We'll find out probably next season. But yeah, that's the side we're most weakest in. And if he shoehorned Hume in as left back last week against Forest, and he was found out, and then he's been shoehorned in right mid this week. So he seems to like him for whatever reason. Maybe he shows much more on the training pitch than he does when he starts. But I just kind of just don't get it at the moment,
Lee, Hume a favourite then of Labrie?
It seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, I can understand why he is, because he gets his head down. He's a hard worker, tough tackling, gives everything. But going back to Chris Rigg, I mean, I'm surprised that he's not starting, because Labrie has always preferred the right foot on the left wing and the left foot on the right wing. We had it with Traore in the season, and it worked well. And Rigg was starting to kind of find a little bit of form in that role, learning it. And I'm surprised that he's kind of gone back to the right footed on the right midfield, because it doesn't really work. But yeah, Trey Hume, I mean, I'd have him at right back, but not over Nordi Mukiele. He's not getting the team. So if Labrie likes him a lot, then a bit like 09, then he'll try and fit him in the team when he can.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, because I'm all over the place, I forgot to mention, of course, our channel sponsors this season, Wolf Competitions. Help us out a lot. And there you go. You've even got the beer mat in Spain. Thank you very much. wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There is a link in the description if you'd like to check them out. All right, lads. So we go 1-0 up. And like I say, apologies. I think it was fairly early on. Was it within 20 minutes or something?
Yeah, 17 minutes.
Were we worth our lead, Terry?
Yeah, I think just about we were. I thought, at the end of the day, I thought we didn't. I was expecting us to come out full throttle and show a bit of intensity and to really sort of go for the jugular, but we didn't kind of do that. And both teams are sort of cancelling each other out for the first 15 minutes until we got a corner, and then a brilliant corner from Xhaka, and there's Nordi Mukiele. That's what he brings to the team. And I think I know we'll move on to Ballard being out and team in the future, but Mukiele probably will end up being the centre back alongside Alderete. But yeah, he's good with his head. He puts it right in the corner, low down, hits the ground, keeper no chance. Fantastic finish, unmarked really. So it's poor from Wolves from their defensive side of things. But yeah, good corner, good goal, 1-0. And for me, there should have been only one winner after that.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Jim Buck saying, here we go. I think Jim hates a bit of negativity, but like I said, we're here to discuss all aspects, really. Max Roberts, the sending off needs appealing. We will get onto that just now. And Jim Buck saying, unfortunately, the letter of the law. But like I said, we'll come to that just now. Lee, were we well with our lead then when we took the lead?
I think so, yeah. And even their manager, Rob Edwards, actually said that it looked like it was going to be a difficult day for them when they went behind, and they got a bit let off because of the red card. But I think it made a huge difference having Enzo Lafay in the middle. There was actually one moment in the first half where he received the ball and he was under pressure, but he turned. He did a little deft touch around the corner and he turned. And you think that's why you have him in the team. So I think it's important that he plays in that role for the rest of the season and he gets on the ball as much as possible because he's the key to unlocking defences, in my opinion.
Right, okay. Before I come to you, Gary, Pixel Rich on the chat, he's agreeing with you, Terry. Wanted to see a positive bounce back after the Forest game. Gary, we went 1-0 up then. Were we well worth that lead?
Yeah, I agree with the lads. I thought we started well in terms of possession, controlling the game. I mean, we should be doing that against a team already relegated anyway. But we started off with some purpose without being, I don't think, at our best. It was shocking defending from them for the corner, but that's not our problem. He put it away well, and like Terry said, there should have only been one winner from that point onwards, and the sending off did change everything. But yeah, we started off well, looked comfortable. Didn't look as though there was any hangover from the Forest game, so at that point I was confident.
Right, okay. Just on the chat, our very own Emma says here, tell you what, the red card, the players should have their hair tied back like the lasses if it's violent conduct by catching it accidentally. Because if my hair was pulled like that, I wouldn't go down like a fairy. To be honest, Emma, if somebody punched you in the face, you wouldn't go down because you're hard as nails anyway. So there you go. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to get the matchup here. Where were we? And again, apologies for this. I've not seen the game.
Phil, I mean, we scored 17 minutes and then 24 minutes. Ballard gets sent off for the ridiculous.
Right. Okay. So that I was trying to get the timeline on that. That was all. So right. Okay. So this is the big talking point of the game then, and I have seen it. But I mean, I'll let you have your say on it first, and then I'll try my best. Terry, well, your thoughts on it? Well, I mean, one, was it a red card? Was it soft? Should it be appealed, or what?
I mean, the rule. Apparently, somebody says the rule says his hair should be tied up anyway. But I don't know if it's actually the rule in the men's game or whether it's just taking the men's game by surprise. I don't know. But yeah, end of the day, violent conduct, no way. It's an accident. You know, it's a physical game. Football is a physical game, full stop. Players jump around on each other all the time. Happens in the penalty box, you know, all throughout the whole of the game. Ballard basically goes there to wrestle his shoulder, and his hair is all over the place down the back of his back. And he probably hasn't realised he's not watching what he's doing. He's looking away for the ball, and obviously he's gone to grab it, his shoulder, and his hair's getting in the way. And that's it. He didn't pull it. He was pushing away from his body. So there's no way he could pull him for him to roll around on the ground like a little baby. So it's ridiculous in the first place to be violent conduct. No, the rules do state that he should be sent off, which is pathetic to be fair, because they need to change the rules full stop because he should have his hair tied up anyway. But yeah, I mean, I was listening to a female commentator on the female game saying, because I think another lad got sent off the other day for the same thing, saying it's ridiculous. You know, women are told to have their hair tied up. What's the difference with men? Men should be the same as well, you know. So yeah, it was an accident. It's the letter of the law, unfortunately. But look, it's one of them things, isn't it? I don't think it's definitely shouldn't get a 3-match ban. Full stop.
Yeah, it's I mean, like I say, I have seen it, and it looks like he's sort of got his hand on his back, sort of thing, and the hair just happens to be in there. And why it's not tied up is beyond me. And the fact that it's not tied up, should there then not be some sort of leeway when the ref goes, well, you know, if his hair had been tied up, that wouldn't have happened. But I don't know.
If that's Gary, the case, why at half time has no one said he's got to tie his fucking hair up? You know, at the end of the day, so clearly it can't be the rule because no one's put that rule into place during the game. If you're going to have one rule saying he's sent off for pulling hair, and if there is already a rule in place saying it needs to be tied up, so clearly there's not that rule, is it? It can't be a rule, otherwise they're not going by the rules.
And did you say in the women's game, they have to tie theirs up?
Have to have the hair tied up, yeah.
Right, okay.
Can't
I
have
mean,
it just be lying, hanging down.
So yeah, Emma on the chat says Ballard is a physical defensive player. He grabbed his shirt, and I've seen worse pulls. It's only a free kick given. Gary, your thoughts on it?
I mean, the very fact we're having this discussion and people talking about a match of the day, did he pull his hair? Has he pulled his hair? I mean, what are we doing here? It's like stuff, isn't it? It's an absolute stupidity. I don't know if you guys remember, but this seems to have started off, I can't even remember what game it was, where somebody has clearly pulled somebody's hair. I think it might have been Cucurella involved or somebody else, the Chelsea lad. And somebody's taken a chunk, pulled him back, and it's like, all right, we're going to stop that, and that's going to now be violent conduct. And this is my beef with referees, is that you can almost imagine they've sat around and they've said, oh, how do we legislate for this? What do we do about this? And it's like, right, any sign of any hair pull whatsoever, violent conduct, you're off. And then the referees are in this position where if they follow the letter of the law, as they did yesterday, send it off. But all common sense has gone out the window. That is not a violent act. Watching Liverpool United this afternoon, there was one tackle from Fernandes. I can't remember if it was against one of the Liverpool players. You know, if the lad's studs had been in the ground, that was a leg breaker. And he got a yellow card for it. That's violent conduct. Not what we saw yesterday. And it's just another thing for the administrators to make a point of, and they'll do it for a few weeks, like they've done with handball and goalkeepers out holding on to the ball, and then they'll drop it again. And it's just a nonsense, because like the lads have said, letter of the law, once he sees that in slow motion, doesn't matter, does it? Because people, right. Some of our fans are saying the same thing. Our fans look at it and say, well, he's pulled his hair. End of discussion. And it's Ballard being stupid. But in the cut and thrust of the game, these things are going to happen. And, you know, again, lads like Cucurella, where their hair's all over the place, you know, you can almost imagine it's going to get caught. So it's a stupid rule. And it changed the game, and it ruined it, helped ruin it. What otherwise might have been a decent game of Premier League football.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, before I come to you on this, Lee. Pixel Rich said for a hair pull, he went down like he'd been hit by a cannonball. Max Roberts says this is twice this season on the same player, one with Keane for Everton and one with Ballard. So, you know, the fact it's already happened, but because it's in their favour, why would he tie his hair up? You know, I mean, if they're getting people sent off because of it, he's not going to tie his hair up, is he? It definitely give Wolves an advantage. Lee, your thoughts on the hair pull?
I think it's pathetic. It's not a pull. I mean, he's defending, and when you're defending against a big strike like that, as you're defending, I mean, I was a defender myself. When you're going up for a ball, you get your arm up there to stop the person backing into you, and obviously when you put your arm up, you've got a closed fist. So I think it's just unfortunate. I mean, you wouldn't expect that from Dan Ballard. Dan Ballard plays hard but fair. If it was Luke O'Nien, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But no, and if you look at the replay as well, or in real time, Tolu, the forward, doesn't even complain about it. The match carries on, and there's nothing really. I think he kind of goes to ground and he feels something's happened to him, but he doesn't go whinging to the referee. So Labrise, I think, got a spot on as well, saying, listen, by the letter of the law, it's a red card, but there needs to be a conversation going forward about how this is interpreted, because if that's violent conduct, then it's a stain on the game. I mean, they make football players take off necklaces, take off rings, take off earrings, or put a bit of tape on them. So why don't they do that with the hair when it's dangling around everywhere? So, yeah, for me, it was pathetic. I mean, there have been other cases recently. I think it was Calvert-Lewin on Cucurella recently in the FA Cup semis, I think it was. And it didn't even get looked at. I don't know if it got checked by VAR and passed on. There was another one with a Brentford player on a Fulham player, I think, early in the season. Again, so there's a lot of inconsistency. And although it'd be nice to appeal it, I don't think we'd get anywhere with it, because the they've given the decision, and by the letter of the law at the minute, it's the correct decision, but it's the wrong decision in terms of like fairness of football, because as we mentioned, like there were worse tackles. I mean, if someone stands on somebody's hand accidentally, is that a red card because you're hurting them? Or if somebody flings a finger in the eye, do you know what I mean? It's a contact sport, football, and there's got to be some kind of common sense applied sometimes.
Gary, you want in there?
Yeah, I just want to chip in on the back of what Lee's saying. I think in the West Ham Brentford game yesterday, it might have been a penalty appeal. One of the players, I can't remember which way around it was, I've only seen the clip. One of the players falls and he's kind of sliding through, and he goes through somebody, or somebody goes over him. And VAR came in and said, no, he was whatever. It wasn't deliberate. It was an error, a slip, I think is how they described it. And yet 1 week ago, our goal that was disallowed against Forest, and Mukiele went through the keeper. Exactly the same scenario. Yesterday, nothing given. Last week, same ruled a otherwise good goal out. The inconsistency from week to week, they just embarrassed the whole thing. And yeah, I've got no patience with VAR. You know, technology is supposed to help us, but it's set us back years.
And that's the frustration, isn't it? It's like the inconsistency of it all. Just it's what frustrates people. Terry, have we any other first half instance? Did anything go off after that, or
not really? I mean, Wolves sort of took over the game a bit, and we just sat back and defended. But I thought, to be fair, they didn't really create a great lot. I thought we defended well in the low block. I thought we had to obviously make do with one man less. And then I think we did change it around a little bit, as in what we did with the defence at half time. But I think we got through at half time pretty comfortable, to be fair. And if the lads thought the same.
Yeah, do you agree, Lee? Was we comfortable at half time? Did it look like, even though we're down to 10 men, did it look like we were going to then struggle or not?
No, I don't think it did, because we had Trey Hume at right midfield. He just slotted into right back, didn't he? So I thought it was kind of, we didn't have to change too much around. Obviously, they had more possession, but they weren't doing much with it. We did have a good chance where Talby did a run, and then he had like a shot on the edge of the box, which was like a tame effort. Knowing Talby and his talents for long range shots, that they're expecting to do a bit better. But I mean, the first half just fizzled out after that, really.
Right, okay, hang on. Craig Thurkel says, what's Lee drinking? What are you drinking, Lee? Vodka?
Vino Tinto, my friend.
There you go. Gary, did it look to you, even though we'd gone down to 10 men, did it look like we were going to struggle second half?
No, I never thought we were going to struggle, because they're just so lacking in confidence, and you know, their own fans were having a go at them throughout. You know, there was a goalmouth scramble. I think, was that first half? Yeah, it must have been first half. A couple of goalmouth scrambles, and their own fans are basically taking the piss out of them. You know, singing "You couldn't score in a brothel" and stuff like that, and critical of the manager. So I think even Wolves fans didn't expect anything from them. Even going in at half time, I thought we're really reasonably comfortable here. As Lee said, we dropped Hume back. If anything, it's a bit of a damning indictment that with 10 men, we still didn't look as though we had enough in the final third. But then we didn't when we had 11 men, because nobody was really supporting Robbie, or not adequately from my point of view. So no, I didn't think we were in danger at that point. And you know, obviously what happened in the second half, I think, was just a question of lack of concentration, poor defending, call it what you will. And once they pegged us back, it was a slightly different game.
I think even the Wolves fans were sort of thinking the game's gone with the whole sending off with the Ballard situation. I mean, I've seen a couple of fans comment on social media saying Ballard deserves to be sent off for what he did, but I mean, I just don't know what they're looking at, because for me, it was a simple accident, simple as. There was no malice, no intent whatsoever. It was the least violent conduct sending off I've actually seen probably for a long time. It was pathetic, to be fair. It was an accident. Like Gary said, there was an accident last week in the penalty box. Penalty ruled out. I mean, goal ruled out, and then like West Ham game this week, there's no consistency whatsoever.
The other thing, Terry, is when people see in slow motion, and I think Joe Hart said on Match of the Day last night, you see one of the angles, and he's got his hair like that, and you see the strands coming out, and they're saying, well, that's damning. When you see it in real slow motion or a still, it looks as though, oh, he's done him. But we're talking Premier League football here. We're talking about real time, and it's split-second stuff. And I think some people seize on the slow motion.
You're talking hundredths of a second. He's looking away, looking at the ball. He's got to grab his shirt to feel where the defender is, and he's just grabbed his hair by accident. It's like split second. I mean, it's pathetic. Honest to God, the game has gone, to be fair.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, Jackie Shields, Jack's mum, of course, on there says 2 players going up for a header and dreadlocks could put someone's eye out. Hair should be tied back above the collar. Also, apparently, Jim Buck says their fans were chanting, you don't know what you're doing, apparently, as well. Jim Buck is saying in reply to you, Lee, an issue with ticketing. There's been many empty seats yesterday, yet genuine supporters can't get there. I mean, we'll come on to ticketing just in a short while. Just very quickly, we do like to try and get 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. If you can hit the thumbs up, that'll help us. 31 people at the moment. Just hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and we'll love you forevermore. Okay, then. So we go into half time. Was there any changes at half time, Terry?
Don't think there was. No, I think we didn't make any changes. We probably shaped up. I think Mew Keeley went to Ballard's position. You went to right back, and then I think we just switched around 1 or 2 positions in the team. But no, we just came out the way it was, basically.
And did we come out with our tails up, or had Wolves had a talking to, and were they up for it, or what, Terry?
I think Wolves did make a substitution at half-time, if I can remember, but they came out, they were kind of on top for the first, 5-10 minutes, and they were rewarded with the goal, which was a similar kind of goal, the carbon copy of our goal. The corner comes over, apart from their player was kind of marked a little bit better than ours, but their player kind of goes over the top of Xhaka and Newman. The pair of them don't even jump for the ball and even looking at the man. So defending-wise from Hume and Xhaka, that was really, really poor. And it was like one of those, an easy header like Nordy Mukeli had. So I was hoping we could hold out longer than 9 minutes, but clearly they got a goal almost straight away, which was really disappointing.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat then. Emma says, all in all, it's a point. What got us mathematical safety. Jim Buck says, speaking to their fans after the match, they don't like the manager. Well, it would be calmer if Middlesbrough get promoted, as soon as he left them for Wolves, and if Middlesbrough went up, and obviously them going down. I do like a bit of karma when it's like that. Because go on.
I do believe, at the end of the day, I think he was a massive Wolves fan, so he's gone to sort of manage the team he supports, and he's loved it probably the majority of his life. So I think he kind of went there. At the end of the day, majority of players expecting the Wolves to go down. More majority of people and fans expected Wolves to go down. So he's probably gone there, getting the opportunity of his lifetime to manage the team he supports. And then even if he gets relegated, it wasn't really his fault anyway, because I think they played better under him. So he'll have a good chance of getting them promoted again next season.
Well, I'm not sure the Middlesbrough fans will agree with you on that, but
who cares?
There's no he's not gone there thinking, they're relegated anyway. He's gone there thinking he can keep them up. But anyway, that's by the by. Gary, second half, did Wolves come out up for it then?
I never felt at any point really, apart from the odd scramble and the couple of other half chances they had. I never really felt that we were in any danger, and it had to be a set piece, I think, to kind of score. The fact that we defended so badly from it is disappointing. The referee didn't cover himself in glory. I'm not using him as an excuse, but some of his decisions were just poor. I think he lost control of the game at points. There was one stage at which we had a breakaway. Talby was potentially through, and their lad kind of blocked him off, made him go around, and because of that, the ball was cleared. Just stupid stuff like that. I mean, everybody in the stadium could see, it was a foul or obstruction at the very least. And there was 2 or 3 other things that he let go. So it was just a bit of a scrappy game. But no, I couldn't really see Wolves at that stage. It's not like, when a team are playing against 10, you'd normally expect them to have a real go, get some balls in the back box, attack us, make us uncomfortable, maybe make us work harder. But I never felt as though they did at any point in the game, apart from the odd flurry here and there. But, it ended up being a fairly drab 1-1 in the end. But that's because the sending off changed anything. But Wolves, low on confidence. I suspect they don't like playing at home, from what I've seen. So it was one of those games. We were probably happy with the draw. They were certainly happy with the draw, and it keeps us banging 12th place.
Right, okay. Just very quickly before I come to you, Lee, on this, Colin Major on the chat says they should get rid of VAR. If the referee has to depend on looking at a screen to make a decision, then he's in the wrong job. It's a whole show on its own, VAR. I mean, we wouldn't even be in the Premier League without VAR. So it's overall, I think it's been advantageous to us. Looking at overall, Matt and Cabby's on there. Hi to you. How you doing? Thane says the ref seems to go with what's hot, which is sort of what you're saying earlier. Hair pulling since the Man U player got sent off. And he's saying, the same player got Keane sent off, which was mentioned earlier. Lee, second half, then Wolves come out. Well, we still have that 1-0 win. Did it look like they were going to pull level?
It looked like they were going to have more of the ball naturally, but I mean, there's a reason why they bottom of the league, and they didn't create much. They had more of the ball. They get a corner from like a block from Ronaldo, I think it is, from the right hand side, and then that goal was just disappointing. I mean, I think it was Gary touched on it earlier, Trey Hume, and the back post when it comes to defending crosses. It just seems that he's he must be a vampire because he's afraid of crosses, isn't it? Because he's been in front. He's been. That's the wine kicking in. That's the wine kicking in, Philly. But he's been.
We're not having any jokes like that on here because they're shit jokes. So go on, we'll bring you back on then. Go on.
Oh,
I do the shit jokes if you don't mind. Go on. Sorry.
No, but I think he's been at fault for a few goals now, Trey Hume. But no, in reality, we look comfortable defending. But like again, another set piece or another cross into the box and we concede a goal, and it seems to be a common theme recently.
Right, okay. Look, just very quickly, I've got to go to an ad break. All right. Again, just to give a shout out to our channel sponsors, who are wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Get yourself on the site. If you don't know what it's all about, have a quick watch of this. Wolfcompetitions.co.uk. This is the Wolf Competitions website. If you'd like to check it out, loads of chances to win, even free to enter stuff. We are giving away a chance to, go to the Challenge Cup final if you're into rugby league. That's a tour of Wembley. Tickets for you and 3 friends. First class travel, accommodation, $2,000 to spend as well. And it's all for free. You can enter that if you're into your rugby. Loads of different competitions on there. Wheels to spin. You can win a car. 5p to enter. Just for 5p, a Ford Focus RS Ultimate Green, apparently. So 5p, get yourself in there. See if you could win yourself that. If you're into the football, of course, World Cup on its way. There is the international wheel, £2 a spin, loads of stuff. Different teams will get you different amounts of money. Of course, at England, the top team there, will get you £36,000 in cash, plus $2,000 for 12 months, and the chance to flip the Wolf coin 3 times for $5,000 per time. Scotland will get $25,000, Argentina $5,000. It's all on Wolf Competitions. So you can check that out. Like we said, loads of different ways to win. The Premier League wheel still there. Lots of people win on that, up to £125 in cash. That's Liverpool if you get that, and that is just £2 per entry. Loads of chances to win cash and prizes, courtesy of Wolf Competitions. And don't forget, there is a link in the description, wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There you are. So once again, massive thank you to Wolf Competitions, and don't forget, loads of people win. Get yourself on their cash and all sorts of prizes. There is a link in the description if you want to get on their site. Right. Yes, Terry.
I want to talk about the foul in the box when the goals were scored. So the ball comes across, Siddiqui is shoved to the ground. It goes to VAR and they say it's no foul. Now, if that happens anywhere else on the pitch, that's given us a free kick. So why isn't that goal disallowed? Anybody understand that? And exactly the same thing happened in the opposite box. Sunderland player nudges a Wolves player. He goes to the ground and he gives a free kick. So what's the difference? Someone tell me, please.
Well, that's gone on forever, though, hasn't it? I mean, how many times, a foul in the box, what would be given out of the box is, but I mean, I've not sort of seen it. I wasn't aware that there was a foul. So, Gary, did you see your thoughts on? You're on about when they scored the goal here.
When they scored the goal, yeah, Siddiqui was shoved to the ground. I mean, people might say, Siddiqui went down to the ground too easily, but the same thing happened in the opposite box a few minutes later, and he was given it as a free kick.
If you noticed, Terry, but Xhaka was having quite a few goals at the referee. And I think it was that kind of inconsistency. There was one up the other end as well. There was a few where he seemed to take the referee to task, and the ref got him back a bit later by booking him. There's just inconsistencies all over the place, isn't there? Obviously, we've got players going down ridiculously easily. The one that drives me nuts is when you've got a player like a defender in the corner. The attacker's trying to chase him down. The defender's holding him off. The slightest contact, he goes down. You see it all the time in every game. Everybody knows what the crack is. Everybody knows what the defender's doing. The referee blows every single time. It's like, how daft are the referees to keep falling for these things? And this thing in the box, we saw Diarra go down, I think it was against Brighton. Nothing given, even though he's rolling about on the floor. And then there's other times the slightest thing, player goes down, that's all the referee needs to blow his whistle. I just
thought the referee yesterday was so eager and keen to give Sunderland player yellow cards, but he wasn't bothered about booking any of the Wolves players, which really riled me up.
He was whistle happy as well. Constantly had his whistle ready. I can't remember his name.
Paul Tierney.
Tierney, that's it. Tierney, yeah, it was, Taylor at first, but yeah, Tierney. I wouldn't say he made it about him, but when a referee ends up in the middle of a match, and it's not a dirty match, but yeah, it's constantly interrupting the flow. That was another reason why it was actually overall quite a poor game, and obviously ended up last on match of the day because of it.
Right, okay, Lee, your thoughts on the foul when they scored their goal?
I mean, you could see that Siddiqui had obviously been pushed. But again, the inconsistency with Premier League referees is that if there's like a little shove and it doesn't really affect where the ball's going, because I think the ball was going over Siddiqui's head anyway. He wasn't going to get there. I think the referees normally kind of like avoid giving fouls for those decisions, whereas other times they might give a foul. But I saw a replay as well where it looked as though Nordy might have actually pushed him. Pushed him onto the floor because there was him and Mukiele that were there, and it looked like that on one angle that Nordy might have got a hand on him and he went down, and possibly Siddiqui thought that he was getting pushed by a Wolves player, but in fact it was our player. I don't know. I'd have to see it again, but I think because it was missing him anyway, and it was going to the back post rather than the front post, I think that's why they didn't really give it as a foul.
Right, okay. Just quickly jump in with this because I don't know how well or badly our goalkeeper did, but somebody's saying he's overrated and stuff like that. But elephant in the room, Roofs is massively overrated. Roofs refused to pass short this time around. Your thoughts on him yesterday? Was he all right, or did he? I mean, why are we getting these comments, Terry?
Well, I mean, I didn't think he had a bad game yesterday, to be fair. I think he made 1 or 2 decent saves. And I think apart from, obviously, that goal, I thought we were never really in any threat at all to let another goal in. I thought in fact, we made 3 substitutions in 72 minutes. We brought Cirque and Isidore and Diarra on. And that kind of, we were on the front foot for about 5-10 minutes. It looked as if like we had 11 men and they had 10 men. So, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Roofs has had a bad game last week, like many other players, and his confidence may be down a little bit, but I still think he's a good keeper.
Lee?
Absolute tosh. I mean, he's one of the best keepers we've had in a very, very long time. He's, for such a young lad, he's like very composed, great shot stopper. He's kicking in general has been good, but I thought yesterday it was a bit off sometimes. But nah, he's a great keeper, and he made some very good saves yesterday, I thought, as well.
Gary, still the man, yes?
Yeah, I think he gives the people around him confidence. Okay, we'll take out that second goal against Forest. Forget that. He did make one really good save where he tipped it over. Great reactions. If talking about the elephant in the room, I think the elephant in the room is 1 or 2 players who might, I don't know this for certain, but might have their heads turned a little bit by what's coming up at the end of the season. And by
sorry, it's Roof's not one of those though.
He's not. Well, he's been linked with other clubs though, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm saying, is he not one of the ones who's had his head turned?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, that's why why I linked it. So Roofs. Siddiqui, not quite sure he's been at his best, although I'm a big fan. There's the World Cup coming up. Look, I'm not looking for excuses here, but it'd be quite natural to say, well, if we're not going to kick on for Europe and we're happy with mid-table, and it's still been a great season, I think by anybody's admission, maybe he's 1 or 2 players might be thinking about the World Cup and might be thinking about next season if they've had contact from other clubs. Roofs, Siddiqui are the obvious ones. Maybe 1 or 2 others as well. You never quite
I think yes,
start the season, do you?
I think everybody agreed yesterday, though. If it was 11 versus 11, that's 3 points to us, because I mean, Wolves were poor, and they were poor against us when we only had 10 men. So I think, and if that was 11 versus 11, we walk away 2 or 3-0 winners for me, like.
Yeah, right. Terry, was there any other sort of major talking points in the game before we saw?
I mean, there was one chance where Roofs, which what I like about Roofs is he's quick thinking, and he throws the ball out to Isidore, and Isidore is just inside his own half, and the ball goes over Isidore's head. Now, Isidore for me was very quick to try and pull the ball down. Now, the pace Isidore's gotten, how far that was just inside Wolves' half. In hindsight, and it's a wonderful thing, it might have been easy to let the ball drop and just use his pace to get under the ball. Now, whether I didn't see, but whether the Wolves keeper's halfway up the pitch, we don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, because that ball was a perfect ball from Roofs over the top. He runs onto it and he's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Because I think it was just too quick to pull the ball down and he couldn't control it.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat. Miles Percival says, I said this last week, Gary, and I think you're right. So there you go. You got a fan down there. Marianne and Carl Taylor, our friends in Boston, Massachusetts. Hi guys, Roofs is quality. I think a few heads have been turned in the last month or 2. Right, okay, just very quickly here, don't forget, if you haven't given us a thumbs up yet, hit that. We'll try and get the to 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. So give us a like if you would. What about a man of the match then from yesterday, Lee?
Before I do that, Philly, I'd like to point out Terry's point there, that Isidore chance. It was very similar to the one against Liverpool away, where he actually let that run. And then this time he tried to bring it down on the halfway and he took a bad touch and the chance got away from him. But that's the kind of moments you want Wilson on the pitch, because Wolves were pushing up looking for that second goal. And I think it was very clever from Labrise to bring him on, but I thought he should have brought him on a bit sooner because probably wasn't getting much. But he also had a good chance as well just when he came on, where it was almost Niall Quinn-esque, where he basically, a ball came in and he chested down. And if he'd have hit it first time, he might have got a shot away. But he tried to take a touch and he got dispossessed. So I think the subs of Isidore Cirque and Diarra gave us a bit more dynamism, a bit more athleticism on the pitch, and we did look dangerous for 10, 15 minutes. So, yeah, Xhaka had a shot just past the post. Diarra had a couple of shots as well. That one of them went corner flag, I think, and the other one went out. But
let's talk about Diarra. However, let's talk about Diarra. What does he actually bring to the team? Because them shots yesterday were embarrassing. Them 2 shots he had yesterday were absolutely embarrassing, weren't they? Let's face it.
Well, before you jump in there, because what you're on about Diarra, people on the chat now are starting that. Finn is saying Diarra, the biggest disappointment, 32 million. He's had 2 good games. Kingfisher agreed. Diarra is well off the pace. So go on, take it away, Lee.
I think with Diarra is that you don't want to have him and Siddiqui playing in the same starting 11 because they're very similar players, in my opinion. And so when you have them together, they kind of, Diarra kind of feels a bit underwhelmed. I think he doesn't get into the game as much as Siddiqui, but I think there is a player there. It's just that because he costs 30-odd million euros, there's a heavy price tag on him. There's a lot of pressure on him. He's had some good games. We can all admit that he's had some good games. But I think like for the price tag you pay, you're always going to want more from a player. And he had an injury. He went to AFCON. He's come back. He's had some good games. We can all see that he's got something, but it hasn't really clicked this season. And I like to think that next season he can kind of kick on and hopefully show what he's made of. Because if not, he could become the next Didier Ndong because he was our record signing. He was a flop, and we hope that Diarra doesn't become that next record signing flop.
Right, okay. Well, Jim Buck on the chat says absolute bollocks about Diarra. Let the kid settle in the area. Alan Garner says Diarra is also 20 years old, learning the ropes. Give the lad a break. Surely he'll come good. Gary, your thoughts on Diarra? Do you agree with what the lads are saying there? Give him time.
Yeah, I think you've got to with quite a few of them, and Reggie will talk about learning. A lot of people said at the start of the season, not just the numbers we brought in, but the inexperience we brought in, and certainly in terms of both age and Premier League experience, and they've pretty much all thrived. And probably Diarra's one of those that there might be a question mark against, but he is still young. He has had a bit stop-start season. I think in terms of those shots, Terry, one of them he'd actually megged the player and cut in. It would have been a superb goal if it had gone in, but of course when it comes to the critical point, he blazes it, into the far corner of the ground. So that's Diarra for me. There's a purpose there, there's an energy, but I also think he's a bit of a confidence player. And I suspect there's a little bit of that doubt in his own mind about whether he's ready for it yet. I think.
Do you lads think that Diarra should start over Hume then? Because maybe he might do better on the right-hand side, like he did at the beginning of the season against West Ham.
I'm not sure what his best position is, in all honesty. And I remember we started the season with him there. And if you remember, Lafay wasn't in the starting team. Looked as though Diarra was going to get picked ahead of him, which seems astonishing now. So I'm just not sure where he fits. And I just wonder if Labrie thinks the same in terms of where to play him. There might be something what Lee was saying in terms of when we've got Siddiqui and Xhaka in the team. Maybe he just doesn't have a natural position in front of those two. Maybe that's not his game. Whenever I've seen him in Senegal, he's looked good, but it's obviously a completely different type of game as well as a different group of players. So yeah, we've got to persevere with him, but I think bringing him in gradually and not expecting too much of him might be the way to go. Look, if Siddiqui goes, you'd probably get more chances next season.
Right, okay. Like people on the chat, and listen, there's no getting away from this. Like Thane says, season's been outstanding, lads. So you seem depressed. It's not about that. We've, every one of us, agree what a superb season we've had, and it's good in a way that we can pick the bones out of it like this. We're not worried about going down. Terry.
I'm 100% not depressed. I'm over the moon with the season. It's been a brilliant season. We're just picking bones of this specific game, you know what I mean? Because I think beating the Mags twice, finishing in the top 15, we all expected a real relegation battle, but I think it's been a fantastic season. But we need to obviously we're going to try and hopefully get some players in over the summer and kick on for next season as well.
and we can still get into Europe.
Yeah.
Never going to happen in a million years.
We could.
If we can't beat Wolves, we can't beat Forest, we're not going to go and beat Man U, and we're not going to go and beat Chelsea and
You
Everton.
can't.
Let's face it.
We're
We're 4 points off 7th place. We've got to get 4 points, 5 points more than about 3 or 4 of the teams. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's be realistic. Come on. I'm not really bothered. I don't care about Europe this year. This year, I'm happy with what we've done so far. Like to see us go and beat Man U next week. Of course, it'd be amazing. But, they've got their tails up at the moment, so we'll see what happens.
Gary?
I was going to say, Terry, I can see us lifting ourselves for those 2 games. Man United.
Hope so.
And again, 1 or 2 of them might have a point to prove. We have got a good set of players, and when we do put it together, I think we're a really good team. We started off well against Forest, and I think if we just get a bit of a turn, we've got a good record against Man United at the Stadium of Light. Let's just get a bit of confidence there. There'll be a big crowd. That could turn these next couple of games.
This season, I'm not bothered about Europe. As long as we stay above the mags, I'm happy with that.
But saying we can't even beat Wolves is a bit unfair. I mean, we're down to 10 men and whatever.
That's what I mean. We have referees going against us, don't we? So we play against 12 men half the time.
Right. Just very quickly then, before I move on, just give me a man of the match, Terry.
Nordy Mukiele, absolutely fantastic yesterday. He was brilliant all over the pitch. Defensive duties were fantastic, and he scored the goal. What do you want? Fantastic.
Superb. Lee, man of the match.
Yeah, I would go with Nordy or Siddiqui. I thought they covered a lot of ground.
All right. Gary?
I don't think anybody really stood out, but I'll nearly always fall back on Siddiqui. I think when he just covers so much ground, he makes such a difference. I'll always go Siddiqui. I've got to be honest, Mukiele frustrates living daylights out of me. He just gives the ball away sometimes, or he goes into half-out challenges at certain points. Positionally, he's superb. He getting forward on the right side, he can be superb, but he sometimes makes some daft decisions for an experienced footballer. But again, that might be another story. I know he's a fan's favourite, but I'm not convinced.
Lee?
No, I think we talked about before about like Diarra and what's his game. I think Diarra has to look at Siddiqui and think that I've got to be that player, because when Siddiqui's on the pitch, you notice him. One of my mates says like he doesn't score enough goals, he doesn't get enough assists, but at least at the end of the 90 minutes, you've said he's had a good game because he's been everywhere, and you notice him. And I think Diarra's got to kind of look up to that and think, listen, I've cost almost double what he cost, and I've got to be that player, because they're both similar types of players. They're both box to box. It's just that Siddiqui, you notice him much more, and I think he's an asset to the team.
See, I don't think Diarra at all in Siddiqui's position. I think Siddiqui's more of a tenacious, breaking up play, breaking the challenges in. I think Diarra's a bit weak on that side. So for me, I see Diarra as he is a little bit further forward now. I don't know what position he plays for Senegal, but I don't see him as a holding defender, like sort of in the role that Siddiqui is more.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat then, Jim Buck says, Terry, get yourself down to Wincy's, have a pie and a few pints. Beale coming in with man of the match down here. Mukiele, Pixel Red says, then same again. Our Emma says, Siddiqui, Alan Gardner, the ref, apparently man of the match down there. Right, okay. Not much time left. Man United on Saturday. Gary, would you take a draw now?
Yeah, I would. I was watching them earlier. They've got obviously some good players. Carrick's put some confidence into them. I think they're guaranteed Champions League now. Not going to break into the top 2, but they're definitely in the top 5. So could be a good time to play them. I do think if the crowd don't, I think that's our last 3 o'clock kickoff of this season. We might sneak it, but yeah, I could see it being maybe a 2-2.
Right, okay. Lee, would you take a draw now?
Nah, I'd want to go for a win against them at home. I mean, like today, they've shown how vulnerable they are. Like going ahead 2-0 and they're giving a 2-0 lead away, and then luckily they get that third goal to win 3-2. But at home, 2 games left. They have 2 big games against 2 supposedly big teams, Chelsea, Man United. I'd like us to see like full crowd, full stadium, get at them and hopefully get 3 points. I mean, listen, the advantage is we're talking about Europe, and there's still 3 games to play, 9 points to play for, 2 home games, and we seem to get up more for the big teams, which I think happens in football anyway. And then you got Everton away, and we've been to their place already, and we did them over in the FA Cup, albeit on penalties. So I think, do you know what I mean? Like, if we've got 3 games left, 2 at home, get the fans up for it, get 2 good results, and then see how it goes against Everton, the last game of the season.
Gary, Man United Saturday, you'd take a draw, wouldn't you?
Well, I said that, yeah, but as Lee's talking, then I might revise that a little bit. I've just, it's probably the red wine this afternoon. Maybe I'm going for a Sunderland win.
Have I done you? Sorry on this. Oh, sorry, go on.
Easy turn. Sorry.
Does the Truder come in for Ballard? Does the Truder get a game for the rest of the season? Where does he fit in, Lee?
I can't work that out. So
he hasn't been seen since the Mags game, hasn't he, Terry? So there's obviously something more behind the scenes that we're not aware to, whether it's like a contractual agreement that he plays 1 more game. But it is very odd that he's not getting any more game time.
Yeah.
He was doing all right.
Comes in for Ballard then?
Either Nordy goes to centre back and Hume right back, or you get 09.
Or you get 09. There you go. All right, look, we're almost out of time here. Let's take a prediction from you. Sunderland versus Man United. Sorry, what are you saying?
Let's go into this game as if we played against Newcastle. Let's get a 1-0 win. Let's get a real good performance in, gritty performance in, full throttle, leave nothing on the park at the end, and let's get a 1-0 win. Come on.
Gary, what are you going for?
Well, I said 2-2 before, but VAR's just intervened, ruled out their goal, second goal, so it's actually finished 2-1 in my mind.
Yeah. Something strange going on in your mind, but never mind. Lee?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. And as well, Philly, I think as well, we've got positivity because it looks like Angulo will be back. Traore is going to be back. Tarby was on the bench. So I think we've got a full squad, and it'll be like competition for places now to the end of the season. I think all the lads should be chomping at the bit to want to get on the pitch before the season ends. So hopefully it'll kind of galvanise the team to get a few good results.
All right, okay. I'll take a 1-0 win. I mean, we've all predicted a win, but I mean, we all predicted 3 points off Hull. Hull, flipping heck. Got rugby on my mind now. Off Wolves last week, so we all went for 3 points off there. So it shows what we know, and we've all gone for a win, and we all predicted last week that we'd get a point against Man U. So all of a sudden, our tails are up. Yes, Lee.
Philip, as we're playing Man U, what kind of reaction does Ahmad get? Does he get a loud applause?
Oh, absolutely. Applause? Yeah, absolutely. I hope he gets a superb reception. He's got to. He's done great for us, and he always speaks well of the club as well. So I think he should do. Do you agree with that, Terry?
I think he should have sneaky talks with KLD as well at the full time. Or sign him for next season, maybe. See?
Yeah, sounds good. Listen, that just about wraps it up. Listen, apologies for me voice. Apologies for not being up on the game, but we got through. I think we blagged it, so it's all right. And thanks to you 3 fellas who had the knowledge to drag us right through there. So Terry, it's just a case of saying goodbye to everybody. Would you say bye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you next weekend.
And Gary?
Goodbye to everybody. See you next weekend.
Yeah. And Lee, in Spanish?
En español. Buena semana a todos y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. How are the lads?
There you go. And I agree with that. Just before I go, I want to say happy birthday to my gorgeous wife, who was, I won't say she was 52 on Friday, but she was 52 on Friday. And we're going to get absolutely tomorrow, bank holiday Monday. So
she's 15 years younger than you, Philly. Is that right?
Yeah. You wish.
Tell her in Spanish, Philly. It might sound sexy.
She's a year younger than me. All right.
Tell her in Spanish, Philly. Sounds sexy. Feliz cumpleaños, cariño.
All right. Okay. Whatever.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Listen. Once again, massive thank you to Wolf Competitions for sponsoring our channel down here. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks very much to you a lot for that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you are a member of our channel, watch your name in the credits at the end. Thanks very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you. Bye-bye.